2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
All right, so hopefully we are here at Cody's house for the first of the 2019 C3 Panthers Podcast Postgame show. My name's Tony Dunn. Cody.
I am Cody Lash. What's up?
Good, my man.
Yeah.
Good.
We're side by side.
We are side by side. What we would like, hopefully, is if some people could tell us in the chat room how our audio is doing, that would be fantastic. We are interested in bringing you this post game even when I go to the games. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All right, Cody, so come up here. Here, let's listen to this first cat call. This call comes in before the game today, right? And this, I feel a lot of us were like.
Yeah, man, it's Jeremy from Swansboro. I know the game isn't started yet, but I'm super excited, and I got a little prediction to go. I don't know about the offense, but I think the defense is going to come out hot, and I'm calling 4 to 5 turnovers this day. I hope I'm right.
Ooh.
Keep pounding. Go Panthers.
Predicted a few
It's about
turnovers.
4 minutes left in the
It's autoplay.
before the end of the
We
game.
gotta change our settings on this for the next show, Cody. All right,
Yeah.
so Cody, we come in here. I show up with you asked me how I felt about the game.
Yeah, I wanted your first-hand perspective. I know I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, but you being there in the stadium, first, did the stadium look as empty there as it did on television?
Yes. Is the heat was too much for people, and I
Yeah.
think the heat was too much for the team in many ways.
Yeah.
They were not sharp. They were flat. You know, a lot of it was just it was easily the wind sucked out of the stadium, and it is a Panther fans, because it's a PSL system, are always sold out. But it's also kind of a very reserved environment, so they're quick to lose their voice.
Yeah, and I feel like they'll leave early if they feel, all right, this game
Dude,
is
after
over,
the
we're
cam
done.
pick, everybody dipped.
Everybody
dipped after the cam
Everybody
pick. They might have actually started to leave after the Bradbury interception, which then led to a 3-and-out, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem. It seemed loud at first when the game first started. There was some good noise on TV at least, and then after that, man, just I don't know. Our offense could not move the ball after that ball was knocked out from DJ Moore's hands, and it just knocked all the momentum off of us. And after that, just piss poor play calling. What do you think about it?
All right, so, first, I will say that going to the game sucks. It is much better. Look at my face, folks. The reason I'm wearing glasses is because of my face looking so dang sunburned. Good God. We just cooked out there. Now, the other reason I prefer, actually, to watch the game on the television is there's so much sensory overload that it's hard to stay focused and look at stuff. So I was trying to look at the defensive line, and then, you know, your sweat's dripping in your eyes or whatever it may be. So it is difficult to follow the game. I think what I got to do was maybe follow the tone and the temperament a little bit more than you would at home. And we were sloppy. We were flat. Yeah. Cam was sloppy and flat from the and at the end of the day, we were in the game for the most part.
To the very end, man. I mean, to the very end. I mean, Sly missed that field goal to start, and I was so confident that he would make that, man. He's been so money. But then when he missed that, man, look, if he makes that, it's a tie ball game. Right at the very end. I mean, our defense played well later on, but it took us too long. The play calling, I felt, in the first half was atrocious. You know, they were throwing some balls to Greg Olsen and McCaffrey, and we were moving the ball, but then it's like run up the middle. I don't know. I'm not very confident in our coaching right now, man. I feel we wasted timeouts. The offensive play calling wasn't there early on, and it hindered us. I feel it was a hindrance.
Well, it's hard to say, right? Yeah. I do want to. I want to caution when it comes to the offensive play calling, is that you really do have to establish the run against the defensive front, like the Rams have. And on top of that, Christian McCaffrey was the best thing we had going for us. He was a monster at all avenues. Now, you're right. We struggled to run the ball. It was a little vanilla to start. But also, if we made some of the plays we were supposed to make, then you don't have those questions about that. Then you start saying, now, the DJ Moore issue, now this is reminiscent of that Redskins game.
It is, and just had it punched out the same way, man.
And I think he's had 2 issues in this game. Yeah, because then there was the lateral pass. Yeah. Was it truly backwards?
Well, so the ball was tipped. I don't know if you saw that by being there, but the ball was tipped, and that caused it to move backward. It was a BS play, and then they challenged it, and then they said that his knee wasn't down. I don't know. The whole thing was weird, man. It's just a bad turnover. I don't know that it's a DJ Moore problem. I think the defender just made a badass play on the ball. But it's definitely something that's cost us, last season against Washington, and now the opener. I mean, that killed the momentum.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers Postgame Show. We're live from the Vivid Seats studio. You know, starting the season off on the foot that we had not hoped with the loss to the Rams. I don't think it's anything to quit over, right? I think there is still a lot of things to be optimistic about. Now, when it comes to DJ Moore, what I was impressed with, what was interesting with the coaching staff is they went right back to DJ. After all the mistakes, they went back to him over and over again. They have a lot of confidence in him. He's going to be a playmaker. Curtis Samuel, again, these guys, I'm telling you, if we wouldn't have made those mistakes, you don't have the room for error in the NFL to do that. And it caught up with us. And we were catching up with our own selves, but we continued to shoot ourselves in the foot. So now in that first half, really a calamity of errors, right? From the top to bottom is that you go from, what in the heck? Why can we not kick the ball? Like, we had to call a timeout, and then we got to delay a game after calling a timeout.
Is that more wrong? And then, so Cam Newton was having a problem with his headset, so then the play call wasn't coming in. And then they had all that time, and then they still didn't have a good play call at the end. We ended up taking a penalty. It's just more Ron Rivera stuff, man. I feel like there's a lack of discipline moving the ball. And I felt the fact that we didn't have a lot of tempo, the defense was able to rest. They were able to accommodate. They were able to game plan and look at what we were doing. And our offense just felt flat. They felt slow, especially earlier on. After that first drive, we just couldn't move the ball in a consistent base. And it was so infuriating knowing the kind of talent that we have. And I felt that it was underutilized. Like, why aren't you throwing the ball to Curtis Samuel?
All right, a lot of good conversation in the chat room right now. Nova Black saying, I'm not mad at this loss at all. Don't ask him at the end of the second quarter if he was mad about this game, because he was firing off bullets on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? But he says, because I know we can still get a lot better. Now, this is where I do think we can be somewhat excited about.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, we played a bad game against a good team who was rusty themselves. Let's go ahead and say that. Jared Goff was awful.
Yeah, he did not play well. He missed a lot of throws.
Their defense, we were able to make some headway against at times.
Yeah.
Now, so they were not the best. They're going to be better too, I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I was excited by some of the parts I saw out there. I think we continue to see Curtis Samuel is going to be
just fine.
Just fine.
We have to get him the ball.
Yeah,
and
which we didn't try to early. And, there's so many mouths to feed at a time is that, we saw. Now, what did you think about the Greg Olson's play today? Greg Olson, very vocal on the sidelines. I heard that someone said that they caught him on the mic yelling at the ref saying, you can't see that from 40 yards away or something like that.
I didn't hear that, but I thought they played well. I thought a few balls hit him on the hands. And he normally comes down with those and then just didn't. I also
They weren't perfect passes, but they weren't. That one-handed one back, I felt like he maybe if he was more limber 5 years ago, he could have twisted in the air.
Maybe once upon a time.
That was the old man, the dad, going, son, you got to give me something to work with.
I mean, I felt that overall there wasn't any one person that was piss poor today, but I mean, listen, we got to talk about it at some point. You and I are both the biggest Cam Newton fans that there are.
All right.
And
Cam did not have a good game today.
He did not have a good one, and I'm not freaking out over it. He didn't play a lot in the preseason. He's still knocking the rust off, but he missed some throws to Greg Olson and to Curtis Samuel late in the game that could have changed everything for us.
All right, so here comes
those plays.
Cam Mama Bear defense right here. Cam was tired. Yeah, you could see he looked tired. Now, some of those passes, the one to Curtis Samuel, if you see it from the field, it looks like you're going to drop over the back, but it just kept going, Yeah. And so I thought that what I liked about that pass is that even though we didn't connect on it, the blitz was coming and he knew where to go.
Yeah.
And it was off. It was off a bit. He was off once or twice to Greg Olson. But Greg, what the mitts on that guy? Did you see that one pass they zinged in there? I was like, oh, God, here's another pick.
Yeah, just grabbed that ball right out the air, man. And that's why I was surprised at the two drops that he had earlier. It wasn't the best thrown ball by Cam, but if the ball hits you in the hands, come down with the football. And it just didn't happen. But then he'll make a play like the one you just mentioned, and it's just beautiful. It's vintage.
Joe Riolano, founder of the C3 Panthers Podcast, says, Greg, he says, I like Greg, but I thought he looked slow and old, being honest. Well, the good news about this, Joey, is that he just looks old because he's always looked slow. Snowshoe Olsen got the dad run.
Never been a burner, that's for sure.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's see what you guys got to say. Look, you're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. We're here live on Tuesday nights. This is the first of several post-game show this season, and the first that I've done out of our lab, out of the studio. Yeah. We're now hanging out here at Cody's house right down the road, enjoying the aftermath of this game, even though it was not the experience we wanted. We want to hear from you. The number's 252-228-5098. This is a place where Panther fans get to have their voice heard in the C3 Panthers post game. Let's see what these guys got to say, Cody.
It's about 4 minutes left before the end of the game. This is your boy Brandon Herbert. So I want to know what is everybody saying about Cam Newton again, because I mean, even if he brings us back, this was not an accurate game for him.
No,
so I'm just being fair. I complimented him early in the game when he looked pretty good, and now he's literally over, under, throwing at people's feet. If y'all can't see it, I can't help you. If y'all can't see that that's not good, I cannot help you. Because y'all can go ahead and defend him. Oh, it's the first game. Oh, it's this and that. Go ahead. I'm going to give that to y'all. But look at this. Like, I cannot. This is the reason we lose. I'm just going to assume that we lose this game. This is the reason that we lost this game. It's because of an overthrow on Curtis Samuel that literally, we were in the game, 3 points down, overthrow on Curtis Samuel. That's the reason why we lost this game. Horrible interception. That's the reason why we lost this game. So, y'all can be mad, y'all can think I'm an asshole, whatever the case may be, but I speak truth.
Get him.
Hey, Panther Podcast, how y'all doing?
All right, let's see. Yeah, G, we're coming back to you now. All right, let's go ahead and have at it. Brother Herbert, looking for smoke.
Always looking for some smoke.
Right. He's trying to fan the flames on our man, Cam Newton. I come there dressed like Auntie Cam.
Yeah.
I did everything I had to do to will this game to win. Now, look, Cam Newton did not have a bowling game by any means.
No.
And the pick, the interception, I think was fatigue at that point. Is starting to get there. Now, these are excuses. First game, rust. These things. We saw it on the other team as well. His conditioning maybe is that even no matter how good a shape you're in, game shape is a little different. Did he overthrow Curtis Samuel? Yes. Was there the ball in the dirt? He also made some really good throws too, I think.
Yeah, and listen, he was bad when we needed him to be good, but it doesn't mean the overall performance was terrible. And I do think there's enough blame to go around. You mentioned Joey Sly, for sure. And Cam Newton, he does this thing where he fails to see the defender underneath him, and the linebacker just made a play on the football. I have no problem saying that Cam Newton had a lot to do with the loss today. It was not all on Cam Newton.
No, but we're holding him accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brandon says that we never hold Cam Newton accountable. So, Brandon, if you're listening, Cam Newton did not play well today. No one's disputing that. But I'm with Tony. It's not all on Cam Newton, and I'm not worried about it.
So let's be realistic about this, and let's talk about, I guess, Brandon, do you want us to say cut him? Because that's not where we're going to be at.
We know that Newton's better than that.
I think one is we come in and we actually cover the spread exactly. It's push 3 points, so we contend with a very strong Rams team. Now, I knew that they were going to come out of the gate slow, and they let us stick in a game where they could have easily put us away. Yeah. This is a game, the story of this game was it could be worse. Is that every point I looked up at the scoreboard or what was going on in the field, things were not going well, but I always say, we could be down 40.
Yeah.
We weren't. Now, really, it's a calamity of errors.
Yeah.
Right? To say this is on the Cam pass to Curtis Samuel, that was a third down. He made the right read. He overthrew it. The ball kept going. If you looked at it from the field angle, he did need to put it over those defenders.
It needed to be on an arc.
But it didn't drop. It just...
Right.
And to be honest, I was a little sad that Curtis Samuel won't go in a little faster. Not that he wasn't running the route hard. I'm just saying, at one point, I think one of the Cam overthrows to Olsen was because Olsen was running so damn slow. It was just 1 inch. And you were maybe Cam's come on, old man, speed it up.
Well, one of them, on the Curtis Samuel pass, the pass went out of bounds anyway. So even if it was moving faster,
he wasn't moving like that.
He wasn't going to make a
From where I looked, it just kept going. I don't know. The ball never dropped.
No, it never dropped. He put too much sauce on it. And listen, man,
that's the Cam Newton. That's the Cam Newton we know, right?
Yeah,
and
Cam
listen,
Newton, he's going to have some overthrows, but at the same time, you don't win the Super Bowl in September.
What did you think about his arm strength today?
I thought that when he did throw the ball, he looked fine. I mean, if you're overthrowing the football, that means you have some power. That means your arm is able to throw the ball, you're able to move the ball. I feel that early on, his decision making was on point. I liked what he was doing.
I think overall for the vast majority of the game, he didn't make a ton of mistakes mentally. He might have made some overthrows, or made some errors, which Cam does. Yeah, and all right. So going to this, but again, putting this entirely on Cam, I think that is overblown as well, because how come the defense can't stop Ty Gurley at all down the stretch?
And then how about this, man? We're in the red zone, and we have F.A. Obata, Kyle Love, Dontari Poe, and Marquise Haynes on the field. Why are the starters not out there in the most pivotal position on the defense in the red zone? And we're going with what is essentially our backup offensive line. I know it was hot, and I know you know it was hot, and I do feel that played a part in our players' performances. But man, what a bad time to not have your best players on the football field. And Ron Rivera did this last season also.
Joey Esquivel said this. He said the heat was brutal just sitting in it. And look at this face, folks. Boy, it was brutal. As you wonder if that has anything to do with it. I think that these guys were truly gassed. It was an awful way. Football in September always sucks.
It does, right? Man. But that's why I'm not too worried about Newton's performance.
All right, so how about this? I think our receivers, despite the fumble, we look like we got a good crop. We got a good bunch. Yeah. That looks like we're confident. It was all Curtis Samuel and all DJ Moore today, with a sprinkle of Jarris Wright and Hogan on one. I saw Hogan play 1 or 2 snaps. Yeah, maybe it was more than that, but I noticed him on 1 or 2. Christian McCaffrey looks phenomenal. Now let's turn it around. I would say that our defense played very well today.
Yeah, so our defense did play well. Our defensive backfield played well. James Bradbury played very well. I was very impressed with him. I thought Dante Jackson played very well, even though he had some penalties.
All right, that was bogus, man. That was bogus, that pass interference call on him.
You think so?
Yeah.
It looked like he had a pretty decent handful of jersey, but
really? From what I saw, when we looked at it, I didn't see much. It looked like it looked like more contact than I thought there was. I don't know what at fast when they slowed it down, it didn't look like he was doing all that much now, but I guess he did. We booed. That was a boo bird moment right there.
It was other than that, I thought Shaq Thompson played out of his mind. Shaq Thompson laid the boom a few times this game. I thought Shaq was great today. Yeah, he played well. He did get hung up on. So when they scored, I don't know which score it was. It was, I think Robert Woods got in on a wide receiver screen as Shaq got locked up in traffic a little, and he was the guy that probably needs to make that tackle if you keep him out of the end zone. I thought the defense was on the field a good amount of time today, and it was heartening in that Shaq looked good. I thought KK looked great today. Yeah, Gerald McCoy. I noticed Gerald McCoy in the backfield all the time. Gerald McCoy did very well. Brian Burns with the blocked punt.
What about Bonifant with the catch?
Yeah, but everyone played. A lot of people on our defense played pretty lights out today. I do think there weren't enough sacks. We didn't hit Jared Goff enough.
We were close. We just didn't get home every time. There was one time he got the ball out and you're about to strip it. Kind of a bizarre game. What about in the first series, dude? The pass that's batted down and Christian McCaffrey catches it. I thought that was a sign that we were going to win.
Yeah, I thought so too, man. Apparently it was just a sign that McCaffrey is a certified badass.
Yeah, he's amazing. That guy is a sensation.
I don't know what the score would have been if Christian McCaffrey wasn't.
If he wasn't on our team in this game, and we had someone else that was just like D'Angelo Williams.
He had over 200 all-purpose yards.
Did he? He was awesome.
Oh man, incredible!
All right, you're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. Let's keep going through with these calls.
Hey, Panther Podcast, how y'all doing? This is G. Cavassier, man. Just got done watching the game, man. I'm not really all that mad. You know what I'm saying? It's the first game. We have 15 games left. I wish we could have won that game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this right now, and you heard it first right here. DJ Moore is not the number one receiver. I repeat, DJ Moore is not the number one wide receiver. Curtis Samuel should take that position. DJ Moore, man, he fumbled. And then that damn backwards pass that Cam did, I don't know what the hell was up with this damn dude, man. I really don't, man.
That was a tough play.
But besides that, the defense played pretty good. You know, Cam's damn healthy. Christian McCaffrey, I don't give a damn, is the best running back in the damn league.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what nobody says.
Right now.
I don't give a damn. And even though I'm going to be honest, I want to see Scarlett do something, you know, the rookie out of Florida or whatever. I wanted to see him, you know, but we got 15 games left, so it is what it is, man. But my main concern is DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? He is not the number one wide receiver. I like that dude because I bought his jersey this year too. You know what I'm saying? But give me your thoughts on that. And always remember, keep pounding. And Tampa, we coming to whip that ass on Thursday, man. Keep pounding.
All right. Thoughts on DJ Moore?
So listen, even though it killed the momentum, I don't really hold that fumble on him all that much. Listen, you do have to have ball control. So, yeah, even though it did punch the ball out, you have to protect the football. I mean, that's number one. I mean,
he was over. It's again coming back to remember when he fought too long for nothing. He's done this. He still does it. That's the Cam in him. You know what I'm saying? It's the Steve Smith in him. He sometimes there was in a preseason game. Remember the third preseason game? He catches the ball, gets tackled. They grab him by his leg, and he's still trying to twist out of it. I'm like, dude, you're about to twist your knee. Stop.
Yeah,
just stop.
You're gonna end up hurting yourself or causing a fumble or just doing too much. And you have to know when to go down. He's still a young player, but yeah, man, it's the time for dumb mistakes like that are over. I do agree with G though. Curtis Samuel, I believe, if we're able to utilize him, is the best wide receiver on the football team. That's our number one wide receiver, and I feel him and DJ Moore. That's going to be a good complement to one another. I think Curtis Samuel has a higher ceiling. But DJ wasn't terrible today either.
No. He had a fumble, and then look, as I think, and I don't know what it looked like on the video, which you guys got to see the backwards pass and stuff. But his body momentum was already moving away.
Yeah.
So, like, to say you got to come back to it, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it's easier in theory.
Right.
To, like, it's not a joystick where you just get to, Now, that was just a disaster. A godforsaken disaster there. I don't think that we need to label DJ a 1. I think that you got him involved more than I expected. I was really surprised, to be honest, that they didn't make Curtis Samuel more of the game plan, though.
And it seemed as though they did that with DJ Moore. They were targeting him early on, trying to put the ball in his
Wonder
hand.
who he was going up. Was he against, was it against Keep? Talib Kweli?
I don't know. I don't know exactly who it was on, but I think they just feel if ever they put the ball in DJ's hand, he has such a chance to make a play after.
I feel like Samuel's the same thing, and so is Christian McCaffrey.
He is the same thing.
We made Christian McCaffrey part of this game plan. It's time to make Curtis Samuel
part of the game plan.
And I think you got to put trips on the other side and put Curtis Samuel against one dude on an island and go.
Tony, you might tell me I'm a Debbie Downer, man, but I'm going to be real with you. I'm not. So it's so obvious to us. Why is it not obvious to North Turner and Ron Rivera? I was not happy with the play calling early on. I feel that it's a hindrance more than it is helping us. That North Turner, I don't know if it's a Ron Rivera thing, but I felt that.
No, I think that Ron Rivera at this point is giving full keys to North Turner.
I mean, what did you think about the play calling? I felt that it was very stale. And once we had found a rhythm throwing the football, we abandoned it and lost momentum, and then it became easy for them to figure out.
It's hard for me to really honestly answer that because I don't know if I'm just... The reason I don't like the play calling is because we lost.
Yeah, recency bias.
You know what I mean? Like, and we'll have to look at the tape a little bit more to see if there's some things. Somebody asked in the chat, did Cam run it all today? He did run one time on the design run.
Up the middle.
And got smashed.
Yeah.
Smashed. I think it was a design run. It sure seemed like it. He went quick.
A design run, for sure.
I don't know. I felt like our problem, Cody, I don't think was the play calling. Our problem is that we move the ball, and then we have some crappy thing happen.
Yeah.
Is that like we're driving, we're putting it on them, and then all of a sudden we're going down. All right, J-Dub brings up a good point that Ron Rivera will say missed opportunities at least 37 times in his press conference today. Yeah, all right, let's keep going with the cat calls. The number's 252-228-5098.
Chef Jeff Hodge here.
What's up, Chef?
Well, I knew that the first person to 30 was going to win the game. But I have to say, we played pretty good. Balls didn't bounce our way.
Yeah.
Kind of a bullshit call on that pass from Cam, because I'm pretty sure it was deflected in front of him. But maybe not.
Your one that
what about this offset penalties on a head-to-head, on a helmet-to-helmet shot and a holding call? I'm sure we've gone through this before. Those should not be offset.
No, they shouldn't.
I mean, that's just a reality.
No,
maybe do it 5 yards, give 5 yards to the offense, and an automatic first down, or whoever, but that ain't the way to do it. Cam plays pretty decent. He's lucky he didn't get picked off that one time. He's still not, missing as much of the preseason as he did. I guess that's how it's going to be. I do have a little bit of an ice-up pick. I would like to ice up the Panthers PSL office. Me and my family have had PSLs since the very beginning, since going to Clemson every single year.
Right.
And I wanted to take our friend Cody Lackney to the Thursday game next week.
Oh, this is this.
And for the last 2.5 months, I get no response from them. People are supposed to call me back. People are supposed to email me back. They don't. Finally, I get an email, and they want $150 to upgrade one seat to a handicap accessible.
Oh,
so to the Panthers PSL office, ice up. And to the rest of the Panthers, keep pounding. Great game. We're going to beat the shit out of the Tampa Bay Bucks next week.
Keep pounding. Pause it before it goes to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, fucking cripples. Yeah, man.
Yeah, is that usually I feel like you should get moved up in the line. If you have some sort of disability. Not like, hey, disabled guy, you got to pay double.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, life isn't hard enough. Right? But one, Jeff, I certainly appreciate you, man. I appreciate you keeping me in mind. And, hey, man, we'll figure it out some way, somehow. Right now, I'm not too worried about it. I'm more focused on putting out the best content on fucking C3 and have this ball rolling.
Hell yeah.
And doing these post-game shows. And, yeah, man, I do, let's go back to that penalty. That penalty with the offset.
Because I have another ISO pick that has to do with different penalties in this game. But go ahead.
Okay. No, I agree with Jeff. How is a helmet to helmet the same amount of
as a hold?
Yeah, as a holding call. I mean, they just revamped the rules, or made some changes before the start of the season, and that wasn't one of them. I mean, this goes back to when Denver was pounding on Cam Newton back in Denver in 2016, and they were offsetting penalties, and they targeted him to the helmet. And then, I don't understand that. What sense is that at all? It's no sense.
All right, I want to continue the shout-outs. I saw Susan Dean, who I went to the game with today. Thank you, Susan, for the hooking up, for making that opportunity available to
Shout
me.
out Susan
Especially
Dean.
if Tiffany is listening. Thank you. All right, now, going back to these penalties, what was more bizarre than this was when we challenged the cat that it was the incomplete pass that fans thought was a fumble. We then challenge it. Now, I thought that this was weird because, one, I was like, I hope we don't win this challenge. Because if we win this challenge, it's a completed pass and he has his knee down.
Yeah.
Which they concluded. But on top of this is what's funny about this. So, there was a ruling on the field of incomplete pass. Ron Rivera challenges the ruling on the field, hoping it's a fumble.
Yeah.
They come and they uphold the challenge.
They do.
It is a completed pass, but it is not a fumble.
No.
So then Ron Rivera won the challenge, kind of.
Yeah.
But then they said we made a mistake and they didn't fix it.
Yeah, and then his knee was down.
But at the same time, if his knee was down, they should have gotten the ball.
Yeah.
On that, it was like, we made an error. You challenged it. You probably shouldn't have challenged this because you're not going to get the call. And then on top of that, we all acknowledge that an error was made, but we're not going to fix it.
Yeah, we're not.
What is this? The whole sentiment about the NFL trying to get things right.
And they never do.
And that was like this. We were like, we know we're wrong, but we're still going to just leave it the way it is.
Yeah. Because fuck them. Yeah, it's the Panthers, whatever.
All right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. You're right, Cody. We are bringing you the great content. There's a great group of people. We're creating a community, right?
Yes,
and I hope you guys are, if you're riding home from the game like Susan is right now, I want you to be safe. I'm going to have to drive the late night train home. But look, guys, there's over 40 people watching at this point. Or there was. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. Do us a solid. Subscribe to the podcast. We're here on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you go, but also on YouTube every Tuesday night live. And look, we're not going to miss a game even when Tony travels because he's going to come hang out with his boy.
Come hang out with your boy.
All right, let's see what you guys got to say.
Yeah, it's Jeremiah from Swansboro. And, it was a tough loss, but overall, I think we did well. We held our own when we needed to. Cam looked a little bit rusty. Probably should have played a little bit more in preseason, but yeah, you got to worry about injury. All in all, I think we got a good season in front of us. We just got to clean up a few things, and I think we'll be all right. Thanks for doing everything you do. Keep pounding.
Pause it.
Hey guys, Josh from Mass.
Josh, we're coming for you. Don't you worry.
So I love the optimism, and listen, we do need to temper a little bit of our hurt feelings over the loss because there was
We're disappointed. We're disappointed we weren't better.
There was a lot of good stuff. I feel from our defensive backfield. I felt good about Brian Burns. Confirmed everything that we thought about him in the preseason. Incredibly talented football player. And our linebackers, Shaq and Luke, were incredible.
Yeah. Our defense, I think, if they continue to get better. Look, Bradbury has a pick. He never picks the ball.
Never.
How about that?
Never.
And he almost had two.
Right.
You know, I thought that if anything, every time you saw, the problem was you saw Trey Boston in there, and whenever you see a free safety making a tackle, it's bad news anyway. There was a couple of things. We were getting fatigued towards the end. Even Kuechly was a little fatigued. I think the defense showed if we can stay healthy and get better, and which you should, as long as you're not just ruined by injuries. And this is not mentioning we played this game without Bruce Irvin, right? And but I think that the defense right now looks on schedule. How about that? Is that where we really need them? They went up against, this is a good litmus test for the defense, good offense.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley was still Todd Gurley. Now, I think what I want to know, your perspective from watching it on the television, very hard to watch it in person. In fact, again, Panthers don't want to hear this, but I totally recommend the TV experience. I'm going to be exhausted and tired. I spent $15 on waters.
Wow.
Just 3 waters, and so I could have drank 12 more.
So beer would have been way more than
that.
Oh,
yeah, and I could never make it home with that. But here is how did the offensive line look? Because I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it was good.
It was better than I thought it would be. Listen, I'll be the stickler that I am. I saw Darrell Williams getting his ass whipped a bunch on that left side. They put Dante Fowler on him on purpose. They knew that they had the speed advantage with Dante Fowler, and they didn't trust Daryl Williams to be able to defend against Dante, and for the most part, they were right about that. They had to put Christian McCaffrey in pass protection. Other than that, I think Van Roten, everybody had a solid performance. It wasn't incredible. I know McCaffrey's happy with him. McCaffrey's definitely happy with the offensive
I would say
line.
in some ways, but I think he also made a lot of that happen too.
Yeah.
Like that one
his
run
own.
that he should have been tackled 20 yards earlier.
Yeah.
He almost got a damn touchdown.
He's so awesome.
Man, he is amazing. And then when he leapt, when he tried to hurdle that guy, what happened to that guy? Did he break his leg or something?
so,
what was that? We don't know. You don't get the updates there.
He lacerated Eric Weddle's forehead. Had blood all down his face, all down the back of his neck.
Oh.
And Weddle was fucked up by that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
McCaffrey doing MMA, throwing Muay Thai.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like that one video you showed where the guy, you put it on Twitter sometimes, where the guy comes in and just knees that dude.
Yeah.
Like he runs and just knees
That's
him.
100%
And then it's
what it
just
was.
over. And dude's dead. He goes to punch him. Everybody's like, don't do that, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see this is Josh from Mass, man. Thanks for joining the podcast.
Yeah, it's Jeremiah from Smallsboro.
Psych. That's Jeremiah again. That's
The
Jeremiah.
one right before. Yeah.
Hey guys, Josh from Mass. Well,
Josh.
it's a loss. It is what it is. But we only lost by 3, and we handed them the game with some mistakes, especially in the first half. I thought things really could have been a little bit tighter. Defense, you could tell there's still some teething issues going on with the switch. But I think on the whole, there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot that looks promising. But I think my glaring thing, as soon as it happened, I knew it was going to bite us in the ass, was DJ Moore fumbling early on in the game on that first drive.
So
we're marching down the field, and then he's trying to make more out of a play where he'd already gained, I think, 15 or 20 yards. Like, dude, just go down. Just go down.
Yeah.
Given your propensity to fumble, and guys know it because they saw it last year, probably 4, maybe 5 times, But on the whole, I don't think things are too bad. You can't be too doom and gloom about losing by 3 when you've got as many new pieces as we do, and you're playing against, last year's NFC champs.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't help ourselves out. A bad call or two, it's a complete pass, but we're not going to give them the yardage, and we're not going to give you guys the fumble. Well, then what the hell is it?
Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Football's back at the very least, but, of course, along with it brought, one of the hockey leagues refereeing, and I don't think us or most teams are going to be happy about that, because the young man seems to have brought his father's reffing tendencies with him. Anyways, it's a loss, but it's not too bad. Catch you guys later.
all right. I think that I was actually all right. So Brandon Herbert still responded to the first call of the night with Brandon Herbert. If we like Cam, or, are we turning our back? Is this on Cam this time? What about Cam staying in the pocket? And I thought in a way that was good. Is like you could feel it was so close.
Yeah.
At one point, he's throwing the ball and somebody touching it. He's still throwing. I thought there was some composure there, and to a degree, is that there were some bad snaps on the offensive line, but he had some time too.
I feel for the most part, he stood in the pocket, especially that first drive. Man, he just waited, knew where the ball was going, and just put it on a dime, put it on a rope. Cam Newton started very well. It's just after that DJ Moore fumble, man, when the Panthers lose momentum, it's so hard.
He's
for
a
us
momentum
to get it
player.
Back. A lot of our players are momentum players, and that's on coaching, in my opinion.
Bringing on this is when we look good, when we went hurry up.
Yeah,
We just quick. You know what I'm saying? Is that I was wondering with this, with the speed that you got with Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, unless you are sending them on a bunch of deep routes, they're going to get gassed, and you can't do a hurry up all the time there.
Right.
But we were effective. Cam, it helps Cam. I think it calms Cam down a little bit.
And I feel that he's in control, and that's where he's the most comfortable with it. I've been wanting to have a faster offense forever. But Ron Rivera just doesn't want to do it until we're down in the third and fourth quarter.
What the heck happened where we couldn't? Also, the other thing I was thinking about with that offensive, where it comes to coaching on this, is how come we had so much trouble substitutions on that field goal or whatever it was, or where they had
all coaching. That's all coaching, man.
Man, Chase Blackburn is getting an earful today.
Yeah, although man, his special teams unit blocked the punt.
They did, but when we were trying to kick a field goal, we couldn't get the right personnel on the field,
and that's unacceptable. And I don't know if Ron Rivera is too hands off on certain parts of the team. I'm not sure what it is, man, but there's a lack of discipline in certain areas of our team right now, and I blame it on Rivera, man. I'm not very confident in our coaching staff. If we turn it up and turn this around, it's going to be on Newton and on Luke.
Well, we've got to know that it's time for our coaching staff to recognize that Cam is a momentum player.
Yes, 100%.
So we have to put him in some positions too that shake off the rust. Get his jersey wet. He looked like a different player after we scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
He gets down.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to lose, right? And so it lets him, he's emotionally impacted by it.
And he was calling audibles at the line. He understands what he's saying.
How did we not get a false
defense.
start on that one? Not a false start, offsides, where he made that dude, that interior lineman, jump. 3 times. They were like, well, we know where you're going, bro. Inside move.
I don't even know.
God, he got him 3 times and we didn't. Somebody touch that man. Touch him.
Yeah, do something.
If you touch him, you get a false, you get offsides. But all right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. Let's keep pounding through these calls.
Hey, guys. This is Matt calling you from the mean streets of New York City. So I apologize if there's any extraneous noise. It is Manhattan after all. Anyway, wow. Okay, so the game didn't go the way any of us wanted, but I wasn't. I'm not down and out about it. It was a close game. There were some bright and shining things in it. I gotta say, when I grow up, I want to be Christian McCaffrey. That guy is he's just solid, man. He's the real thing, and just a great player. I don't think there's any running back in the league that's better than him. Just don't. Prayers to Eric Weddle. That was a freak accident, really ugly, and I hope that guy's okay real soon. So a couple of other thoughts.
Yeah.
I know that we gave up 30 points, which is never what you want to do, but the Rams are a great offensive team, and they got a lot of weapons. And I thought our defense came to play today. I was
couple big plays. The Robert
somewhat
Woods
impressed by them. The offense did not help them out a whole lot. The offense didn't help them out a whole lot. Put them in some bad situations, and they gave up some points. It's going to happen, but I thought they came to play. I thought Shaq looked pretty good today. That was nice to see. Bradbury had a solid game, I thought. And the special teams, I thought, were standouts today. Yeah, man, just some real nice play, and it's rare that you get to say that about a Carolina Panthers special teams unit. Letdowns today. DJ Moore, man, you had trouble hanging on to the ball last year. I don't know why you're not just carrying the football around 24/7, sleeping with that thing. I don't get it. And Cam Newton, he was freaky. He was Cam. I'm not worried about his shoulder so much as I'm worried about his head. I question some of the decisions that he made today, and I'm sure he does too. But we didn't get the win. I think we're real close to being a damn dangerous team. So hopefully they can tighten up and get it together for Thursday against the Bucs. Okay, you guys, keep up the good work.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you for the call from New York. Just to give you guys a little bit further insight into what this looked like today, Jared Goff on this defense goes 23 for 39 with 186 yards and a touchdown, 1 interception. It's a very small day. If you think of that, 189, and let me see, how many touchdowns did he have? Todd Gurley gets 97 yards on 14 attempts. At the end, Todd Gurley, and I thought this was strange. The defense tried to say that he was going to run left, and he was running right on our defense the whole time. Yeah,
and then they subbed him out in the goal line scenarios. They were using a different running back, which is very weird. Yeah, man. It's so weird because there's a lot to be hopeful about the football team right now, and then there's a lot to be genuinely concerned about. Not too bad concerned about. Overall, I think that it was a valiant effort, and I do think a lot of our mistakes can be chalked up to, needing more time to be better on the minutia, on the details, and that'll come in time. We just needed to do some of the small things better, and we need to be better early on in the football game. Whenever we're trailing our opponent, you almost know that it's more of an uphill battle for Carolina, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I think it's hard to do some of the things that we want to do on offense when we're behind, and we had the opportunity. We get the ball early. The Rams settled that for us by deferring, and I think it's just going to be difficult to take shots down the field when everybody knows you're taking shots down the field.
Yeah.
You need to have some intermediate, like where they think you're just trying, it's 1st and 10, and you're trying to get 3 yards, you've run the ball effectively, and then all of a sudden a guy slips out behind.
And I think Cam Newton did a good job of taking what the defense gave to him.
So until he got tired. He got tired at the end, frustrated at the end, started forcing things at the end.
Yeah, and I felt our offense and our play calling put him in that position. Listen, man, I know I'm a broken record at this point. Our coaching has to be better. It has to be better, or this is going to be a very, very long season on offense and defense. And that's just how I feel about
Christian
it.
McCaffrey just was sensational today. 19 attempts for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Add on to that 10 more catches and 81 yards. That's why I drafted him number 1 overall in the C3 Fantasy Football League. By the way, if you're a player of the C3 Fantasy Football League, the shirts just arrived on Friday, so I will be mailing them out this week. All the premium packages, all the gifts, and all of that will be mailed out this week. All right, so let's keep pounding with these calls. The number is 252-228-5098. You're listening to the C3 Panthers postgame. Be a part of the show, guys.
Keep pounding.
Oh, my. Oh, my. All right, this is Cody from up here in Roanoke, or CK,
What's up, man?
in an effort to limit confusion. Hey, guys, hey, Cody, hey, Aunt Cam, how you guys doing? I know that wasn't the most ideal outcome, but I think we all expected that this wasn't going to necessarily go our way. Granted, I think it's more painful because there were just little things that, had they went our way, it would have been a completely different, situation. I think there was a lot of encouraging things. I think that a lot of people are going to question our pass rush. One time, say, what the heck? But I mean, to be fair, the Rams didn't take deep shots. They were doing crossing patterns and screens and, dump off passes, not even giving an opportunity for our pass rush to reach home. But don't let that discourage you. I think that they made an impact, at least as much as they possibly could. My biggest concern is our run defense. There towards the end of the game, I felt like we just faltered, and I know we were going against Gurley, but I don't know about you guys, but until that last quarter, I didn't think Gurley looked very much like Gurley. So, Christian McCaffrey, the only way we'll have hope this year is if Christian McCaffrey's on the field. I mean, Cam was looking decent. I think he made a couple of mistakes within his reads and his decisions and overthrowing people. That one wide open, I'm not going to say wide open Curtis Samuel pass, but I mean, that would have been dropped in the bucket there. That would have been amazing. That would have been a tie turner there. But I tell you what, that punt block was enough to get me jumping off my couch and
almost blocked
jumping for joy, guys. But
because we got
anyway,
I think we blocked 2 punts there.
That's my reaction. I think there's a lot of optimism. This could have gotten bad a lot quicker, but we held these guys in check for the majority of the game, and we just weren't able to close it. Unfortunately, that was half the games last year that we lost. So, all right, guys, keep on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's right. I'm really impressed with now, are Panther fans soft, Cody, and forgiving? Or are they just being reasonable at this point? Because I like the temperature of these calls is guarded. Like, yeah, disappointment, but reasonable optimism that we can see peer through. Is we're not letting a loss on week 1 define our season as a fan base, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that we're not that reactionary, that we lose the first game and, oh, man, our season's down the drain, woe is me. I mean, listen, you don't win the Super Bowl in September. So I'm not worried on that front. There were things to like and things to love, and then there were things that we have to do better on. I think it was a litmus test for where we are right now, and it shows us where we have to be a better football team. And it's very obvious that Cam has to be better on some of these passes, and our defense has to affect the quarterback at all times. And we had some good 3 and outs on our defense too. So, I mean, the sky is not falling in Carolina
not yet.
right now.
We're gonna have to get better though. We're just 100%. Gonna have to get better. Kind of reminiscent of the start last year against Dallas at home. Even though we came out with a victory in that one, that was like a 13-9 game or something. It was
low
like
score.
We just couldn't get it together. I thought we had it together in some cases. We just couldn't put it all together.
Right.
And, and that was the problem is that when, we would make some big conversions and then get a holding penalty and be back and then be backed up. We have to me, we got to get less penalties. Penalties were
penalties hurt today.
They were daggers, at the time, and helping, and for the Rams, I mean, I think our defense looked very good. I think our defense played as well as you can ask them to play against that offense. They're getting used to the heat themselves.
Yeah.
They're the first day they're playing. They were out there all damn day, it felt like.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the offense and the coaching, man, we're going to have to hope that, and we did see North Turner bring more things out as they're not going to show their full hand in week 1.
Right.
But it wasn't, we just couldn't get in the end zone fast enough. It took us too long to get in the end zone today. We score in the first half sooner. The whole dynamic of this game changes because as soon as we scored, you could see a weight lifted off of Cam Newton's shoulder. And he didn't have any touchdowns today.
Yeah, didn't have any touchdowns. The offensive line, I feel, did for the most part, did well in pass protection. Just later on, I genuinely feel our coaches didn't put us in a good position early in the football game. We mentioned the tempo. Cam Newton loves running for tempo. I don't know why we don't do it more often. It benefits our offense to be able to do that. And when you have the type of weapons that we have, it benefits them as well. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot terrible in the football game. Just small things that have to be
I think that's why people are optimistic is they could see that there's something to work with here.
Yes, there's something here.
But like Underground West said is we just got to fix the dang mistakes.
Yeah,
that was it. It was mistakes, and some of this is the whole weird thing with Cam and his helmet. All of that, at the beginning of the game, it just felt like everybody was sitting in the sun and tired.
Dare I say, missed opportunities.
I know.
Oh, my.
Is that what the one we just
Oh,
said?
my.
Right.
Well, that was frustrating, and I only saw
What's
Red
up,
Zone.
Rich?
Anyway, I'm going to be with you on YouTube, so I'll speak to you later, guys. Keep pounding.
Hey, Rich. Thanks.
So, this is Jedi Joy calling in. It's been a while since I called in. I've been in the hospital, but I'm out now. Watched the game today. I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. First, I am super disappointed in our Panthers fan base for opening week against the defending NFC champs to see all those empty seats in the stands.
Yeah.
I was so like, because like tickets weren't even on much. I looked on SeatGeek, it was about $40. Unfortunately, I can't really walk. I would have probably bought a ticket and went up there myself. But it is what it is. Whatever. The second thing, McCaffrey is super upset that he did not get a Pro Bowl nod last year because he's coming for the Pro Bowl. He played his ass off today, unfortunately, in the losing effort. Defense looks great. I think the only issue they really had was Todd Gurley having fresh legs in the fourth quarter. Kind of gashed them a bit, but for the most part, they held up, got some decent pressure, and held the run game down. Special teams looks like it's a lot better. But it's only one game, so we'll see how it goes. I don't blame Sly too much for missing the first field goal. But
Tough way
it's
to
a game
start.
of inches, and it happens. Whether it's a game of inches, and every little thing counts towards a win or a loss. I'm not too panicky over losing to the Rams week 1. Hopefully we can turn around and beat the Bucs next week. All right, thanks,
I
guys.
think the one thing, if we are gonna, if you want me to stir the pot a little, Cody,
Stir it.
and that is, the Rams weren't good today either.
No, that's not stirring the pot.
So-
That was obvious, I feel.
So while we keep saying it's not that bad, there's some things to learn from. We can get better. On one hand,
I
this,
see where you're going with this.
dare I say, was a missed opportunity.
A missed opportunity,
Because,
yeah.
no, and the idea is too is that like we don't. The window is closing.
Yeah.
It always is closing. The window's
Yeah.
not opening. It's always closing.
It's always closed.
And we have to clean these things up.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where you keep coming back with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Is that like, why are we not? I don't know. I don't think we look bad today. I don't think we look unprepared entirely, but there were moments where it was just like, what's going on, me people? Nobody knows what's going on.
No.
The refs didn't know what was going on. Half the
It's
stadium,
a discipline thing.
the fans didn't even know we had a game today.
No one knew what was supposed to
What
be
in
happening.
the world? This
at
is the
all
worst
times.
part about the PSL system.
Yeah,
The PSL system manufactures sold out crowds all the time.
it does.
And so we have never not sold out a game, I don't think. Maybe
Yeah.
like 2 in the whole history of the whole world.
Right.
But it was hot. I understand. Like I said, it's better watching in front of the old TV. But we do need the people of Charlotte to get their butts out there.
Yeah.
There are too many people that go to the game just to go to the game that are not even like people wearing like orange. I saw a guy wearing a Denver Broncos jersey.
Yeah,
Like I was
the
just
hell
like,
is that?
gosh. I mean, and I'm not going to be one of those weird people that says like, don't dog all of us for selling tickets to all fans or whatever. You may sell your tickets, do whatever you got to do, I guess, if it's money. But it's on us to show up. I drove 4 hours dressed like Auntie Cam in that heat. Did not take off the bonnet, not one time.
Wow.
Not one time. Took it, left it, scarfed up with a sign. And you know what the big ice up is, Cody? I didn't get on the damn Jumbotron.
I never saw you.
How
one
in the
time.
hell does
I never
Auntie
saw you
Cam
one
come
time.
and I was holding that sign up like a big ass idiot the whole time?
boy.
Oh, I thought for sure at the end when I was downtrodden and like this, that they were just going to find all the anti-cam on the cammed in, but nothing.
Just knocked out, nailed over.
At what point, though, Cody, do we, I won't say worry, but do we get irritated?
If we do the same thing in about 5 days against Tampa Bay, and another one at home. So it's annoying, man. It's frustrating knowing that these other teams are knocking a lot of rust off as well. And there were plays to be made on our defense that weren't capitalized on by the Rams. So there's a lot of polishing that we need to do. And
we need to polish this can and make sure it's not a turd.
I'm hoping it's not a turd.
It's not.
I'm hoping
I do have a question about the indoor stadium stuff. Is that would it be climate controlled?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but they say that they can open, like Dallas is playing with the open roof right now. Is it a cool 74 in there? If it is, if it is, I'm saying this: pony up, taxpayers of Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
You assholes need to get this thing indoor. I need some AC. It was
needs
tough.
roads? Yeah, come on.
Schools. Hell, look.
Water. Drinking water? All right, first world problems, huh?
Yeah, Flint.
Yeah, that's Flint.
Right.
Chef Jeff Hodge again. Forgot to bring up in the last call. What about that bullshit replay where the guy caught the ball, he fumbled it, we recovered it, they say it was incomplete, the ref comes on and says, oh no, he caught it, but we don't know if his knee was down or not, so we can't determine the fumble. So I don't understand how we lost our timeout on that one.
So we lost our timeout. We didn't win the challenge?
I understand that he's ruling it if it was a catch.
It was a timeout.
But that's just really weird to me. And they cut to the sideline. I'm sure Ron's going to have something to ask the NFL about that one, because that just didn't sound right at all.
They said it was.
I don't know what you guys think about it, but let me know. Be listening.
We didn't have a chance to fumble.
But it was a completed pass.
Right, and that's why
they
it's so
said
stupid.
The pass was complete.
Right, that's why it's so dumb.
He didn't fumble.
Yeah, the dumbest shit.
So
in the
we
world.
should win that challenge.
Yeah,
they should have marked the ball down. It should have been 3rd and 3 at that point.
That could have been all us.
Well, even if it wouldn't have helped us if we won one. It does hurt to lose our timeouts, and we needed timeouts at the end.
Well, I mean, it would have been our ball. I mean, we recovered the...
Oh, well, yeah.
We recovered the fumble.
But I think they said his knee was down, so it wasn't a fumble. It was a catch and a down, not a catch and fumble.
I feel it should have been a fumble.
It was close. I know the crowd wanted it to be a fumble.
I know.
All right, you're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. The number's 252-228-5098. Tony and Cody here hanging out. Come and let us know what you think of the game.
So, this is Jedi Joe again. I wanted to add another thing. The refs, I'm not blaming the refs for this loss, but at the same time, there are a couple of calls that perplexed me. The obvious one is the pass that was challenged. He definitely caught that ball. He definitely took 2 feet down, and then it was punched out by Luke Kuechly. I don't know what the refs saw in that to make them say that it was an incomplete pass. And even when they came out to say what the call was, they said that the call that was a pass, then he was down by contact. And in that case, then it should have been a 3rd and 1.
Yes.
With the Rams maintaining their possession. So, I don't know. It was a big mistake on their part, I feel. The second one is the fumble, the backwards pass by Cam that became a fumble that led to the Rams' first touchdown. If you look at the replay closely, the ball was definitely tipped by one of the linemen, causing it to be an errant throw, and DJ not being able to get it. Yeah, I'm not a big
tip a lateral
philosopher of the rule book of NFL, but I feel like that should be a batted pass and should be an incomplete pass. Just like if any other time the ball was batted and
it was his
by a defender. That's just my thoughts. I want to ramble a little bit of venting. Thanks, guys. Yeah, good.
All right, next call.
What's up, everybody? This is Carolina King out of Atlanta.
What's up, man?
Hailing from the great state of North Carolina. I don't think this is anything we need to be worried about right now. This is a win-win for us. Something to where, obviously, we took an L from, but you see all the upside going behind it. Let's not crucify Cam. Let's not crucify Ron Rivera. If anything, guys, this is something that we have to take back to the locker room, dissect, and see where we made our mistakes at. But overall, the biggest playmakers, in my opinion, is that offensive line. Hands down. For Aaron Donald to be on the other end, and what they get, like maybe 2 sacks, that right there in itself is a win for me. Now, we just got to see it coming down the turnpike with these next few games, but I feel good, man. Optimistic. Let me know what y'all think. Carolina King, y'all take it easy.
All right, thanks for that call right there. Hold on, let me find this. It's probably going back to the first call now. All right, you're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast. Numbers 252-228-5098. Longest running Panthers podcast will be live Tuesday night. Or also, the question is Cody a night owl enough to do a post game after a Thursday night game?
Fuck yeah, we don't even have to ask.
Okay,
man. I'm down for a good down.
So I am not coming to that game because I'm not going to take off work. I have to take off 2 days to make that trip happen. But how do you go back into the locker room after this game? I think there's going to be a lot to build. I think we're going to have the conversation is going to start with Cam Newton and North Turner, and they're going to have to figure out how to get on the same page.
I would tell them, do you feel bad? Good. It deserves to feel bad. When you don't play 4 quarters of football, this is what happens, and this is what it feels like. And you have to do better in those moments when the game is on the line. Everyone has to be better. The red zone defense, which I still blame Rivera for not having our better players on the football field at that point in time. And then Cam Newton has to make some of those throws, and our linemen have to give him enough time to be able to throw the football. It's a teaching tape is what this is. Show the players this is what you did wrong and practice the hell out of it. Throw the ball down the field in practice so that way when you're going into Thursday, this isn't something Cam Newton's having to do on the fly. Time to build the reps, time to make this offense run. Because right now we're looking like the preseason Carolina Panthers, which is not fun.
I don't know how to. We need to get our offense needs to become explosive.
For sure.
It needs to be what the Rams offense was last year.
Yeah.
It can be.
100%.
I think we have enough tools. I mean, if you look at them, they got Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods. There ain't really much of a difference between
Curtis Samuel and DJ.
Boy, did Cooper Kupp get like 100 catches today?
And he was throwing the ball almost exclusively at Kupp. Almost, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't put Cooper in man coverage and let your defenders play the ball if you know that they're going to be throwing the ball to him that much. I mean, Cooper Kupp makes that offense run. So, take him out of it. And we didn't do that.
All a bunch of underneath stuff. You know, really, this game, we weren't far off. We're a missed field goal, right? We're an interception where Cam threw that pick, that wasted a lot of time on the clock.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't come away with any points.
Right.
You know, and so it wasn't. When Cam threw that pick, the whole crowd stood up and walked out. Like, I mean, like so many people were like, "See you, we're out of here. It's too hot." And I sat there and I was like, but even when they don't turn it into points, we marched down. I think we scored again. I'm not sure if we scored again. Anyway, the clock was running out. There just wasn't enough time. Now we did need to we could have hopefully gotten that onside kick. That would have helped to give us a shot. But and going back, and I saw Brother Herbert was in the chat, so we did address your call earlier in the show, and we said also that Cam Newton has to play better, right? He didn't have a good game.
He missed some layups.
Yeah,
simple.
And that's kind of always his MO.
The Curtis Samuel throw was a high-level throw, but then the earlier ones to Greg Olsen, that's money. That should be money every time.
Yeah. But you come back and there's mistakes on all sides of the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
All sides of the ball, there were problems that, and in the defense, while they did play great, they let them score down the stretch.
Yes.
And if you could have held them at 20, 23 points, you're in the game. But they started to get it together offensively as soon as we started to have a chance of coming back.
Yeah. Doesn't it always seem to happen that way? Doesn't it always seem to happen that way?
We have to come out faster.
Yeah,
we gotta come out. You said
faster.
it. You said
I've
this
been saying
earlier.
this since last year.
We went into scoreless at halftime, I think, or close to it.
Yeah, I mean it's almost weird that we put up 27 points.
Yeah, you're right.
How did we put up 27 points?
Block punt helps.
Yeah.
Bonifon, our boy Bonifon, Panther Nasty.
Helps.
I know Panther Nasty. If he's listening, he likes Bonifon. All right, let's see. I think we got another call on the Cat Calls line.
What's up, everybody? This is Carolina King out of Atlanta. But
did we listen to this one?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. So let me just. I got to download it. Huh. All right. So obviously, I think the player of the game on the offense, clearly, is Christian McCaffrey, and it's going to be like that for a while. It should be like that every week, and if we can get the other guys clicking, then that's some good news. How would you grade Sly on his debut? Missed his first kick, but comes back. It's a 53-yarder.
It was money, and they were from the 40 to 50-yard range. So overall, I'm fine with him. I'm happy with him. I'm comfortable moving forward with him as our kicker. It is true though that if he does make that field goal, then it's a tie ball game instead of us losing by 3. But those are the points.
I mean things happen, and we didn't score any more after that, so it's not on him that we lost the game. But there are 3 points that we left on the field that we needed. Now, turning to the defensive side of the ball, you mentioned this earlier. Dante Jackson looked pretty strong.
Yeah, Jackson and both of our corners.
They did
played well.
The safety play seemed okay.
Yeah,
and when they're involved in the game, sometimes it's a bad thing.
And I did notice some poor tackling by our safeties as well. Even Eric Reed had some tackles where he wasn't wrapping up, and it was at the end. I don't understand how you just lose the ability to tackle. I don't understand how that happens.
We haven't figured out the nickel corner either yet.
No, Javian Elliott.
He was there, but so Galden was playing at some too. I saw.
Yeah, and Cockrell was on the field too.
Yeah. So they are really now. That might be a good thing.
Yeah,
his fresh legs.
Yeah, fresh players. They're all fast, but I don't know. We definitely don't have a long-term answer at the position. But
Carl Van says Burns looked good, McCoy looked good. I thought Short looked good. Once we start to get that, now the question is like you said with the Love and the Haynes, how are we going to figure out the rotation? I did not get to keep count. But what was Haynes' playing time look like today? Did he get a good amount?
I saw him out there a lot on the field. He was out there almost more than I thought he should have been, to be honest with you. And not that he's a bad player, but I would have preferred Brian Burns or Mario Addison in a lot more of those situations.
Wondering if Mario Addison is starting to slow down.
played a lot, too. A lot.
His big giant body, because he's big body.
Yeah, huge hand in the dirt, defensive end. So,
all right. Well, let's see. Now, currently, this is the last call of the night. C3 Panthers Podcast Postgame Show. Fall to the Rams, though, but we'll be here on Tuesday night. We don't give up on the team, and we don't give up on this podcast. We're going to keep speaking into the internet etherverse as long as you guys keep hanging out with us. So go ahead and smash the thumbs up button if you like this community that we're building. Go ahead and share the podcast with one friend. And I was a little upset that more people weren't coming up to me. Panther fans, we got to get at the game. That's what we need. We need
sure.
y'all at the game. Charlotte, we need you to show up. Number 2, how do y'all not know who Auntie Cam is more? I was a little surprised that people are looking at me so strange. Like, why? I was like, have y'all not met Cam Newton? Here you go.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, Jeremiah from Smallsboro again. I just want to go ahead and throw out there, we need more Curtis Samuels out there on the field. That whole first half of him not hardly playing, that was ridiculous.
No.
Also, I don't know, I know y'all were at the game, but I was watching it on TV here in Smallsboro, like I said, and the announcers were just horrible. They just, all they did was ride freaking the Rams all day. Just loved them like they were just couldn't do anything wrong. Man, I'm so sick of this disrespect we get. You know what? One of these years, we're going to put it to them, man, and I hope it's this year. Keep pounding.
All right, we had our shot today to stick it to a Sean McVay team, and we blew it.
Yeah, we
blew it. We, I think, could have. At some points, I felt like we were the better team on the field.
Yeah,
but then we weren't. And I'm sure they felt that way too.
Yeah. I mean, our defense. We had turnovers, man. We had turnovers. The defense put the ball back into the hand of our offense, and we weren't able to do enough with it. And yeah, I don't know why Norv Turner isn't game planning around Curtis Samuel all the time. He is the best weapon at the receiver position on the football field. I don't understand it. I do not understand.
Do you remember when? I feel like sometimes we need to force it.
Yeah.
And just to say, you know what, we're going to force it. Like, we forced it a little with McCaffrey.
And it's
it's like feeding them.
It's not really even forcing it.
If you don't do it once, you're definitely not forcing it.
You're game planning them to be a part of your offense and scheming them open. So that's what a good offense does with your best players. And we're not doing that for Curtis Samuel. It felt as though we were doing it for DJ Moore. Now, he was the first-round draft pick, I understand. But
and Cam, it might be Cam looking to him.
And they even said on the show, the announcers were talking about how you didn't hear anything but Curtis Samuel's name in training camp for the Panthers. It was dynamic, making plays all the time. And then, during the football game, Norv Turner just forgets about him. I don't know. I
want to give the benefit of the doubt to Norv on this and say there's something that we're not recognizing. Maybe it's Cam going to DJ feeling better about it. But I felt like is that at some point a little bit earlier, particularly when we were struggling, is that you got to say, all right, it's time to just give it to Curtis Moore. We did it for Olsen. We did it 3 times for Olsen where it was like, hey, this is a play for Olsen.
Yes, for Greg Olsen.
Yeah, I mean.
Where are the plays for Curtis Samuel?
Yeah, and I think it's time to put him and McCaffrey and use them together like little awesome little fast people.
Those are your weapons. Those are your weapons.
Not one end around. In this game, we didn't have any misdirection.
Yeah, the play calling was vanilla and boring and stale.
It was working though. I think that's the problem is we were moving the football a lot of times.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel we settled for the ho hum. This is what the Panthers are. We're a run first football team. Let Cam Newton throw the football. He's not going to knock off the rust unless you let him let it go.
Well, Ken Dye bringing up the point of this is that the deep routes are tough when their defensive line is as good as they are. They have to develop. But there has to be a way to... I don't think we went downfield one time in the game.
No. I don't know if we threw... if we had a completion from more than 20 yards. I mean, I don't remember it.
I don't like to hear that. This, again, sounds a lot like last season.
100%.
Doesn't it sound like last season?
Oh, so bad.
All right.
Although we did win the opener last season. So
right. So maybe we'll start 2-6 and finish 8 straight.
Hey. Yeah, now we're on to something.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're doing.
All right.
Now we're on to something.
All right, Cody. I think you got anything else you want to talk about before
That's
Tuesday?
about it, man. I mean, there's nothing. We're on to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Now
So-
we have the film. Now we know what we have to be better on. If we put in another performance this Thursday, like we did today, it's time to be mad, I would say. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So Thursday night we got the Bucks. Tuesday night we got the podcast at 9. And I'm gonna go hunt down Gene, the Buck What You Heard, figure out what's going on with the Bucks. And it's not the end, folks. But Panthers, we need some feeling from you. That's the one thing that I looked at that stadium today, and I look and I see how nice we are in the calls afterwards. And I am with you. I'm like, I have the same perspective as the callers have.
Not some more assholes.
Yeah, maybe. Is that I will say this. I did not particularly care for Rams fans razzing us as I was walking out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
do tell.
Well, I mean, it's just like tons of Rams fans there.
Really?
There were a lot of blue jerseys, right? Not a takeover, but they had a presence. They had a presence. And I saw this one group, the guy was walking around filming afterwards, and he was like, "Y'all quiet now. Y'all talking all that junk before the game. You can hear the traffic on 77." He was saying, and I was just thinking, man, we got to listen to this crap. And we shouldn't have to.
We shouldn't have to.
You could have won that game. You should have won.
I think that you're on to something when you said that the PSL culture. I have no doubt that, listen, people in Charlotte love the Panthers, but I feel as though sometimes the PSL system makes it not as accessible to them. You know? And I feel that...
it's not accessible to the right people.
That hurts us from...
It's so
being
corporate.
An environment like Kansas City or...
It's corporate.
Or Seattle. Yeah, it's that one...
Joey said this. Listen to this. He said, been saying it since I came on the chat. This game looked like it was played last year.
Yeah.
I hate that comment.
He's right, too.
I think the difference is our defense is not going to look old and slow.
I hope so, man. I'm hoping so.
I think it's going to be real.
We have to.
Oh gosh, we got to get on. We need Thursday here. I got to get past this.
Yeah, we need Thursday to come soon. We need to erase the memories of this. And who we play in week 3?
Ooh, I don't know. Who do we play week 3?
I don't know.
It's somebody easy.
Well, whoever it is, man.
We have
to have this Tampa Bay game.
It's on. We have to. On to Tampa Bay, as Bill Belichick would say.
Yep.
That's it. On to Tampa Bay.
Short turnaround too.
Short memory. We got to have a short memory here.
Everyone's gonna have their eyes on us because it's Thursday night
football.
football.
God, we do terrible on prime
I know,
time.
man. The last time we played Thursday night football, I don't have to remind y'all what happened, man.
All right.
Pittsburgh put the beat down on us.
All right, Cody. How can they find you on Twitter?
CODYLAC. Hit me up. Talk football. Whatever you want to talk about, man.
All right, my name's Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast. Sometimes they call me Professor. You can catch me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Make sure that you share the podcast with a friend.
Cardinals.
We're trying to build a community. Look, you saw it, folks. It's going to take us. It's going to take us to change this old baby boomer culture.
We have to, man.
Out with the old, in with the new. And on to Tampa Bay. We'll see you next Tuesday. We'll see you in a couple days. All right, Cody. Man, it was a blast hanging out,
man,
brother.
for sure, man. We'll do it again.
All right. I'm going to do this from your house 5 times this year, or 4 more. All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Subscribe to the C3 Carolina Panthers podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or anywhere you can catch an RSS feed. Check out CarolinaCatChronicles.com for the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective.
Great cash, homie.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.